August 8th, 2017 was indeed an iconic and monumental day in the history of Kenya, as its citizens got the opportunity to go out and vote for its leadership for the next 5 years. Long queues were witnessed in polling stations across the country. This was indeed an improvement in voter turnout as opposed to voter apathy that was witnessed in 2013. Votes were cast, counted, losers and winners alike were declared, right from the presidential race to the member of the county assembly. Over a period of 14 days, the debate of the legitimacy of the presidential election results declared by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission raged at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court declared null and void the presidential election results that had been declared by the IEBC. I am your host, Michael Kiche, and here is what is ahead on this month's edition of The Scribes. The clergy's prayer for a peaceful Kenya before, during and after elections is granted. We take a look at National Prayer Day that was held in Nakuru by the Seventh-day Adventist. Government directive to outlaw use of commercial and household packaging plastic bags has been given a clean bill of health by the courts. Broadcast media offers a platform for the gospel to be preached unlike the biblical times. What contribution does Hope Channel Kenya programming bring to the spread of gospel in Kenya and beyond? Welcome to today's edition of The Scribes. Send us your comments on our social media pages that are running at the bottom of your screen, and you can be sure that we shall respond to your comments. The Supreme Court of Kenya has nullified the presidential election results that declared Uhuru Kenyatta as the winner of the August 8th polls. In a brief ruling that was delivered by Justice David Maraga, he cited a number of irregularities and disregard to the rule of law by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission in the electoral process. Here are some of the scenes that were witnessed in the Central Business District when the ruling was passed.
Tuambie maoni yako kulingana na maamuzi ambayo yametolewa na koti.
Maoni yangu, nimeshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu, nimepiga kura mara mingi, mara 3, hii ni ya 4, sijafaulu. Leo nimeshukuru Mungu, Maraga ametoa maoni ya Wakenya wote wana celebrate. Nimeshukuru Mungu sana. Asante sana.
The direction we have taken is the best because we need peace. We don't want to see people dying and all the stuff. And in fact, trust me, you not, if this thing went the other way like I'm holding, we don't know what, we would not even be standing here this very minute we're here. But we thank God for Maraga and his team. The Supreme Court has redeemed its name from what happened in 2013. And the direction we are going, to God be the glory, because we are going to work. It's not going just to sit back. We are going to vote again, and we will vote to the last person. And we are expecting to have the best result so far.
Prior to the August 8th general elections, the church was actively involved in organizing mass prayer sessions and interdenominational prayer events in order to declare peace upon our country, Kenya. The Seventh-day Adventist Church, uniting both the East and West Kenya Union conferences, came together in a national prayer day that was organized in Nakuru. Morris Mbugwa compiled the report, and here is the story.
The church in Kenya played an active role in advocating for peace during the recently concluded August elections. This has been evident through the various rallies organized by churches in different stadia across the country. The rallies were meant to bring Kenyans together as a people united in prayers ahead of the general elections.
The church is a shepherd of all people in this country.
In one accord with the clergy, the stadia were filled to the brim, and in one spirit, Kenyans expressed their desire to have peace prevail during and after the election period. The Seventh-day Adventist Church was not left behind in this patriotic bid of advocating for peace and praying for the country. The church organized a prayer meeting at the ASK showground in Nakuru town. Adventists and non-Adventists alike were in attendance as they portrayed a common desire to have a violence-free election.
Na maombi haya ya watoto wako na yale yameombwa na madhehebu mengine na wote wanaokucha wewe yatapata kibali machoni pako.
With various church leaders in attendance, a constant appeal for peaceful coexistence was sent forth as a portrayal of the very virtues that founded the Christian faith. A large number of Kenyan citizens subscribed to the Christian faith, and the country was optimistic that peace would prevail. The world had its eyes and attention on Kenya and how it would conduct its elections. This attention was partly fueled by a previous experience in the 2007 general elections. The dawn of August the 8th was welcomed by long queues in polling stations all over the country, and a patriotic spirit was evident as Kenyans patiently cast their votes. Although there were some pockets of violence witnessed in some parts of the country, Kenyans by far enhanced peace and unity amongst themselves. And this is by far an answered prayer for more citizens in the nation. Reporting for Hope Channel Kenya, I am Bugwa Morris.
Being born blind may not be as challenging as having to be born with sight and then out of unexplained circumstances, the kind that baffle even the medical practitioners, you end up losing your sight in adulthood. One such case is that of Lazarus Omusula from here in Nairobi, Kenya. He has defied the expectations of many to live just like those of us who have a perfect sight. John Ogoi spoke to Lazarus Omusula and he filed the following report for the Scribes.
People living with disabilities have often been considered unable to rise to the peak of their profession. This has been a conception that is changing over the years. But for one Lazarus Omusula, who is an instructor with the ICT KIE Department for the Blind, has risen above the conception. Being blind does not mean that you cannot reach to the peak of your profession. Human beings have different biological mechanisms to respond to the environment around them. Taste, smell, hearing, and sight are the 5 human senses important in our daily interaction with people and things found in our surroundings. Have you ever imagined losing either of your sense? Well, Mr. Lazarus Omusula is an ICT instructor for the visually impaired with Kenya Institute for the Blind. A husband, a father of 3 is one of the few individuals who lost their sight in adulthood briefly after graduating from college.
My name's Lazarus Omusula. Born again. I'm married to my wife Lois Lutukai, and together we have 3 children, a daughter and 2 sons, aged from 11 to the last born is 4 years. I work with the Kenya Institute for the Blind.
Okay.
Yeah, located in off Langata Road along Maimahi Road. I'm a teacher. I train in a unique subject called adapted ICT because having attained ICT training background. When I lost my sight, I came for rehab, and I discovered my skills were still intact on the inside of me.
This was a major blow to his wife, who was newly married and almost left for fear of unknown. At that time, Lazarus was the breadwinner of his family.
It was quite harassing, to be honest. It was really tough because then I had just settled down into marriage, although I had actually shared this with my wife that I could lose my sight. But you know, when the reality struck in, it was really traumatizing because I still had to come to town to fend for my family. My wife is a housewife, or rather was a housewife even then. So they were looking up to me for, provisions.
Struck by shock, Lazarus was mad with depression that led him to a rehabilitation center where he, like many others, are repackaged to come into terms with their new status.
When I did lose my sight, it was a very scary thing. Nobody had ever prepared me for such a thing. And it was a strange world now. I was diving into a dark world. So when I came for rehab, because rehabilitation is essentially you are being re-engineered. You are being renovated to live in your new state.
During his time there, braille and other equipments for the blind were introduced, not forgetting his close friend, White Cane.
So I came over for rehabilitation, whereby now you are taught how to use braille to read and write, and then you are taught how to use the white cane, because when you lose your sight, it's not just a matter of you are given a white cane and you walk, because what I'm holding in my hand, this is a white cane. So you are taught, you have to be taken through the lessons, and then I was taken through the adapted ICT. That I didn't have to be taught, they just oriented me through and I was able to pick it.
Lazarus, as many of his friends are fond of calling him, is an alumni of Starehe Boys Center, a man who is polite, listens and converses well. His great sense of humor has been reiterated by many of his students. Many people born blind often live in self-denial, but for Omusula, who underwent rehabilitation training, has learned to live with this current situation. He has moved on with life. Through this, he has impacted many lives. Those that have come across him verbally or through his coursework can also attest to this. Reporting for Hope Channel Kenya, I'm John Ogoi.
The Scribes takes a short break now, but when we return, we look at the role that Hope Channel Kenya is playing in the spread of the gospel across the country of Kenya and beyond. Further to that, we also take a look at business in the post-election period here in Kenya. Welcome back. Broadcast media is a tool that can be used to build or destroy the masses. Often through media, negative culture, bad influence and hatred has been propagated. History has equally proven against media, and one such case that comes to mind is that of the 1994 Rwandan genocide. Ministry in the Air is a feature that looks at how instrumental Hope Channel Kenya is in the spread of the gospel in Kenya. Nixon Ratemo brings us this month's feature, Ministry in the Air.
2000 years ago, just before he ascended on high, the Son of Man promised to come back and take home his own, the saved ones. "2,000 years and counting, the same gospel is being echoed down the streets, social halls, resting places and transport vehicles. But the promised soon second advent still remains more of a theory than a reality."
One day I was sitting in my couch in the sitting room and I was flipping through channels, and you were talking about something. You mentioned remedies, and I wanted to know exactly what you were talking about. It was sinking even as you were talking word for word, and I knew I wanted to follow up.
Media is a great tool. It's more of an instrument of power. Like a hammer in the hand of a mason, it can be used to build or cause mass destruction. While its history and use has not been quite impressive, God is finally using the media to make dynamic impact in a languishing world. As Christ's second coming fast approach and dark hours age by, media ministry is becoming a crucial part in the soul-winning ministry. The land of Kenya, 224,960 square miles, is positioned on the equator on Africa's east coast. As at 2017, The country's population is postulated at 47,898,083 people. The predominant religion in Kenya is Christianity, which is adhered to by an estimated 84.8% of the total population. Out of these, 47.7% are Protestants, 23.4% Roman Catholic, and 11.9% other Christians. Islam is the second largest religion in Kenya, practiced by about 11.2% of the total population. Traditional religions account for 1.7%. Other faiths practiced in Kenya include the Baha'i, Buddhism and Hinduism, which take 1.6%. Those not ascribed to any religion are 2.4%, and the unspecified take 0.2%. Hope Channel Kenya has made inroads to an otherwise neglected group of people. In collaboration with the Chaplaincy Ministry, the station has visited Kamiti and Naivasha Maximum Prisons, Nairobi Remand Prison, and Lang'ata Women Prison. Here, we have been able to minister and encourage prisoners from the Word of God. Testimonies given by transforming prisoners are not only encouraging but also heart-moving. At the end of their sentence, prisoners are reintegrated into the society as transformed persons who also take up the role of bringing others to Christ. Back at the station, viewers continue to call, inquiring and seeking for Bible studies. They also continue to send in text messages. Our volunteer counselors continue to tirelessly offer free counseling services to those who call them. Serious cases like suicidal attempts, devil worship, family issues, spirituality and health are some of the prominent matters in counseling. Social media has also been a great tool in HCK's mission. Through our social media platforms, we are able to connect with our viewers who follow us online. Over the Facebook and Twitter accounts, back and forth communication are made, revolving around Bible discussions, enquiries on broadcasted shows, prayer requests, and counseling. The station also uploads broadcasted programs on its YouTube account. From here, viewers are able to follow up on their favorite shows at their convenient times. Through the social media and YouTube, we have been able to attract a large following both from within the country and across the globe.
Interestingly, there are a number of people that have watched Hope Channel Kenya. And I guess as we live now, there would be more people who understand us better.
The second advent of Christ is so imminent. With the evangelism field being extensively vast and the ratio between reapers and the harvest growing larger by the day, soul winning continues to be the great challenge for the church. Through the enabling of the Holy Spirit, Adventist media in Kenya believe that through their tools of trade, they can do something to add on to the church's harvest.
The government in Kenya has been given the green light by the judiciary to implement the ban on use of plastic bags used in commercial and household packaging. The ban came into effect starting Monday, the 28th of August, and stiff penalties are meted on people who continue to use the outlawed categories of plastic bags. Failure to comply with this new directive attracts a fine of up to 4 million Kenya shillings or an imprisonment term not exceeding 4 years.
The raging debate on whether the ban on plastic bags should be enforced or not has finally been put to rest. The High Court, through Judge Bernard Mweresa, ruled in favor of the government, stating the environment protection overrides commercial interests. The Kenya Association of Manufacturers had moved to court seeking temporary suspension of the government ban on plastic bags. In a Kenya Gazette notice number 2356, published on 28th February this year, the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources, through its Cabinet Secretary, Professor Judy Wahungu, declared a ban on the use, manufacture, and importation of all plastic bags used for commercial and household packaging.
Kwa sababu saa hii vile watu wako saa hii wamezoea hizi makaratasi na bado hawajaleta suluhisho kwanza wangetafuta hiyo suluhisho ndio baadaye. Kwanza saa hii wakisema watu watumie hizi makaratasi, wasiwatumie hizi. Kuna wengine bado hawajapata hizi bags hizi za kutumia sasa. Sasa itakuwa shida kwa hao watu ambao hawana uwezo wa kununua hizi makaratasi. Hizi mifuko za bag hizi za kubeba bidhaa hizi. Kwa sababu saa hizi najua zimepanda. Wauzaji wa hizo mabags washazipandisha ziko juu.
Because if we talk about the people who are losing job and we talk about environment, I think environment, I'll give it first priority. The companies that are shutting down, probably, on my opinion, I can say if a company who had that brilliant idea of manufacturing plastic bag, they can still come up with another extreme brilliant idea of manufacturing something that is environment friendly.
In their submissions to the court, Kenya Association of Manufacturers claimed that they were not consulted prior to the issuance of the ban and there was no public participation. In addition, the petitioner indicated that the government had not conducted an extensive impact assessment, thus 6 months was not sufficient for the plastic bags manufacturers to comply with the ban.
Everyone in this country has thrown a piece of paper on the ground and it's not biodegradable. So when it's time to phase them out, it's because the consequences are real.
Mimi naweza sema serikali ilichelewa. Mimi nikiwa mdogo hakukuwepo na hizi paper bags, lakini kulikuweko na zile karatasi za kubeba bidhaa. Sasa uwezi mnyang'anya mtoto wembe na usimpatie kijiti cha kuchezea. Isitoshe, hawana nia ya kumaliza makaratasi, bali wanatengenezea watu fulani biashara. Juu anasema kuanzia shilingi 20 atakuwepo. Je, utanunua paper bag ya shilingi 20 kubeba nayo mboga ya shilingi 10?
Strict measures have been put in place for those found to be acting in contravention to this regulation. Non-compliant individuals and businesses will face a fine of not less than 2 million, but not exceeding 4 million, or alternatively face up to 4 years in jail. However, this ban is applicable to only 2 categories of plastic bags, namely the carrier bag constructed with handles and the flat bag constructed with handles.
As much as we have people losing their jobs, but the environment is more important to us. So I think they should come up with better ways on going about this. Also, they can see how they'll get jobs for those who are going to lose their jobs.
This new directive takes full effect on Monday, 28th August. The government failed in its earlier attempt to ban the use of plastic bags in 2007 and 2011.
You want better? You'll sacrifice a little bit more, but for the greater good. Let's just look at the bigger picture. It will cost a few people some jobs. It will cost extra money to get the equipment, but what will be the end result of it all?
It remains to be seen whether this directive will indeed help Kenya protect its environment and join the likes of Rwanda that have successfully eliminated use of plastic bags in their country.
Market trends in most world economies are characterized by significant patterns in the run-up to a national election. Political climate determines how business is conducted in any given environment. Jason Wekesa explores the economy trends in Kenya after the electioneering period.
Just like trading in a stock market, selling and buying patterns are interesting to watch before, during and after a general election. Kenyans picked concrete lessons from the 2007-2008 post-election violence. These were hard times where demand for basic commodities far outweighed the existing supply. Even where there was supply, access was hard due to insecurity and unreasonably high prices of commodities. to avoid a replica of the 2007-2008 post-election scenario. Most Kenyans living in cities, towns and areas demarcated as violence hotspots opted to move up country. Those that dared to remain behind inevitably indulged in purchase of food supplies that will last them beyond the political season. The business community didn't miss the opportunity to cash in on the buyers' fears in anticipation of lack of supply of essential food items after the election. Investors remained cautious while most businesses closed with minimal activities as polls approached. Kenya, being East Africa's powerhouse, a hub for business both large and small scale, are recuperating after elections to keep pace with the growing economy. Reporting for HCK Scribes, I'm Jason Wekesa.
We will be taking a breather now, but don't go away because there's still more on the program. Thank you for staying with us. The Scribes did an exclusive package for its viewers for the month of August. In this month, the Seventh-day Adventist churches hold camp meetings across the nation. Today, we feature Gabriel Kibati, a seasoned Swahili speaker, who will take you away by his oratory skills in Swahili. Here he is giving us a summary of the Maxwell Central Seventh-day Adventist Church camp meeting.
Hujambo mpenzi mtazamaji na karibu katika mambo yalivyo. Kama ilivyo desturi ya kanisa la Kiadventista la Sabato, waumini wa kanisa la Kiadventista la Sabato huwa na makambi kila baada ya mwaka, yani kila mwezi wa Agosti wa miaka ambao huja kila kukicha na kuchwa. Na basi makambi haya huvutia halaiki ya watu na vile vile huvutia wageni toka maeneo tofauti tofauti, na pia wageni kutoka makanisa mengine mengi hukaribishwa ili kusherehekea tu makambi ambapo inajumuisha wa Adventista na vile vile washiriki kutoka maeneo tofauti tofauti ili kuja kujumuika pamoja na kuweza kujifundisha neno takatifu la Mwenyezi Mungu. Basi napenda kukujulisha kwamba makambi ya kanisa la Kiadventista la Sabato la Nairobi Central lililoko hapa juu milimani kilomita chache kutoka mji wa Nairobi ilianza tarehe 19 hadi tarehe 26 ya mwezi Agosti mwaka 2017. Inatazamiwa kufikia kilele chake hii leo jioni ya tarehe 26 ya mwezi Agosti mwaka 2017. Miongoni mwa waliohudhuria katika mkutano huu mkubwa uliojumuisha waumini wa kanisa hili la Kiadventista la Sabato ni pamoja na mchungaji Parkinson kutoka maeneo ya Marekani, ambaye aliweza kutoa mafundisho mahususi kuhusiana na hali ya kijamii, hali ya kiafya, hali ya neno takatifu la Mwenyezi Mungu na namna ya kupata fedha miongoni mwa vijana wanaoaminika kutoka katika maeneo tofauti tofauti. Basi ujumbe wake ulizingatia haswa kitabu cha Matendo ya Mitume 27 ambapo ni ujumbe aliokuwa akipatiana siku ya Jumamosi ya tarehe 19 ya mwezi Agosti ya mwaka 2017 iliyokuwa inazungumzia hadithi ya Paulo alipokuwa safarini. Na hiyo basi taarifa hii nitakayokuwa na kusomea hivi punde inaarifu tu safari hiyo ambayo Paulo alikuwa akisafiri miongoni na wafungwa wenzake. Wanaume wapatao 276 wamenusurika kifo wakati merikebu waliokuwa wakisafiria kwenda miji ya pwani ya Asia kukwamia Omo na Tezi kuvumiliwa kwa nguvu na mawimbi ya baharini. Wanaume hawa wafungwa walikuwa wakipelekwa kisiwani Melita kwenda kufanyiwa mashtaka chini ya kiongozi mmoja wa Kirumi aitwaye Kaisaria. Miongoni mwa wafungwa hao alikuwa ni mtumishi wa Mungu aitwaye Paulo, ambaye tu kabla ya kuongoka alijulikana kama Saulo. Habari zasema maakida wa wafungwa hao walikuwa wametoa tahadhari kwamba wafungwa hao waruke kutoka kwenye merikebu pindi tu meli hiyo itakapopigwa na mawimbi mazito ya baharini, lakini Paulo alisimama kwa ujasiri mkubwa dhidi yao na kuwajulisha uwezo wa Mungu na kwamba hakuna hata unywele mmoja wao utapotea bure baharini. Baadaye wafungwa hao na maakida hatimaye walifika salama, na si salama tu, hadi salama usalmini kisiwani Melita. Na hadi kufikia hapo, mtazamaji, sina la ziada ila kunya jamvi. Jina langu ni Gabrieli Kebati. Ujumbe wa mchungaji Parkinson ni vile tu nilivyoweza kukuarifu, ni kutoka katika kitabu cha Matendo ya Mitume 27:27 kama nilivyokujulisha hapo awali, mtazamaji. Na hiyo basi, kwa Kiingereza wanasema ujumbe wake ulikuwa siku ya Jumamosi ya tarehe 19, ni kwamba stormy weather na perfect storm. Hiyo ni kukujulisha tu kwamba japo dhoruba kali, mtazamaji, kaa ndani ya mashua, maana Yesu yupo ndani na utafika salama, na si salama tu bali salama usalmini. Mimi ni Gabrieli Kebati, na hadi wakati mwingine na kutakia njozi njema.
For almost 10 years now, Adventist Women Ministries in partnership with ADRA have been behind the End It Now initiative. The global initiative, with a worldwide presence in more than 200 countries and territories, was launched to put an end to violence around the world. In Kenya, ADRA has established its activities in Western Kenya since 2003. There has been a successful campaign against female genital mutilation by changing the attitudes and behavior of people in the affected communities. ADRA's campaign against FGM focuses on the precarious effects of such practices on the girl child. Domestic violence has notoriously featured amongst Adventist and non-Adventist quarters. Through this initiative, the Seventh-day Adventist Church seeks to increase awareness, responsibility, and ensure personal involvement in a bid to end violence in every home and society. You too can join this initiative by signing a petition or contributing financially. Log on enditnow.org for more information. On to something that caught our attention on the social media, and just in case you missed this, it is the baptism of the tallest man in Peru. Hundreds of people turned out to witness the baptism of Margarito Varela, who stands at 7 feet 5 inches tall. Varela accepted Jesus and was baptized with a number of people on his side to aid him go into the waters and come out a new man, resurrected in Christ.
El pastor como lo mira. Ay, hermano, por favor. Está... Pasa tu cabeza, hermano. Estamos filmando. Oye. Ay, mamita, no, los esos salen más que ellos. No, mira la bandera. ¿El evangelio? Ahora sí. Hermano, salga de ahí. Ese hermano bien metido, sale él.
Thanks for keeping me company throughout the whole program and letting me come into your living room. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch this episode and many others of our shows. Send us your comments on our Facebook and Twitter accounts that are being displayed at the bottom of your screen. From me and the technical team that made it possible to bring this month's episode of The Scribes, I say thank you. I have been your host, Michael Kiche. Do have a blessed month ahead.